Okay, here's a quick video on the Ford 5600 high crop flat deck clutch pedal. You can see all the adjustment. Well, you can't hardly see because there's so much grease in there, but all the adjustments been taken up on that. Now when I hang this light, get in there and we look at the throwout bearing. I'm going to press the clutch. That's how much travel we've got. The sound of it. I mean, it spins pretty freely. Now, the other thing I noticed, of course, there's a lot of grease in there. Oil over time. Sorry, I guess oil. Wow. But I don't know how much you can see it with this light. But on this flywheel, there's a heavy layer of grease around it. And where the clutch pad was, mostly just outside of it. I think that clutch plate was sticking. I don't know for sure. But otherwise it, appears to be in good shape. Doesn't seem to be warped or anything from what I looked at earlier. Putting a flat edge on it. And I don't think there's anything else I could really take a picture of. Maybe just the outside travel. Yeah, right. Good luck. Let's see. What does that do? You can see the travel there. Okay, I think that's everything I can show you. Yeah, it's the 9th of January. Still working on this clutch for the Ford 5600. So I've got it all apart. Sorry about the air compressor in the background. What I'm doing now is cleaning up this flywheel. Just sitting here with moisture and stuff, it got a little rusty, but there was also a real heavy cake of almost like a black tar grease. I know it's not tar, obviously. And so if you remember from my other videos, the problem with the tractor was, you couldn't stop this thing. This thing would go right through a field with a plow like nothing, but you press on that clutch. Well, I know there wasn't much travel left over here in the linkage. Yeah, you just saw the cat jump on my shoulder. Seriously? Anyway. So I really didn't think that the clutch disc was bad because it was grabbing. I mean, it would pull. But I ordered a new one. I ordered a new throwout bearing and a new pilot bearing, which I just pulled out. Yeah, there's little tricks to that. I talked to my mechanic and stuff. They were pretty helpful. Cleaned out the bell housing because there was oil residues sprayed all over the place. I watched another video, another guy doing a 4610. I wish I could remember his channel. I'd shout it out. Long story short, he had the same problem. His clutch disc looked good. Everything else looked okay, all his bearings. What it was is that residue that I told you about was actually holding the clutch, the disc. And it wasn't allowing it to sit free in there and disengage. I think I had the same thing. His problem was the seal inside of here going to the crankshaft was bad. My problem don't know if you can see, oh, the fuel tank looks dry now. But ever since I've owned this tractor, about 3 years now, when I run it, diesel just runs right down the whole outside of this thing. And the mechanic I talked to at our New Holland place said that what's probably happening is it's just getting down through the seal on the bell housing, running in, and just splashing all around in there. But while it's open, I did order the parts, spend the money. That always hurts. But so I'm gonna put new, bearings and a clutch disc in there. The other one didn't look terrible. I mean, it had wear, but it didn't look terrible. So what I'm doing now is I'm cleaning up this flywheel, because you don't want all that rust and stuff from condensation. And I'm gonna clean that up and get ready to put things back together slowly. This is part-time, I do work for a living. Full-time, don't let me, farmers work. Boy, I'm gonna get nailed on that one. Farmers work like crazy, but I have a different job. This is just my hobby. So what else can I tell you? I'm cleaning that up. I'm using my air grinder. You can see that down here. With a scouring pad. I wouldn't want to use anything much rougher. They just tell you not to. I don't really know why. I know you don't want to scratch up the flywheel too awful much. You can see I've still got a lot of scouring to go. That light reflect is a little bit tough. Those two bolts that you see out of the flywheel, they had large washers on them, and that's what was holding in the pilot bearing. I just got the pilot bearing out, and I have not put the new one back in yet. While I'm at it, I'll just show you a quick video. I don't know if you can see inside the bell housing. I mean, it's not perfectly clean, don't get me wrong, but it's way better than it was. That's a new throwout bearing. So anyway, slowly putting things back together, starting to clean things up. I'm going to put the new pad on there, clutch disc, pad, whatever, and put the clutch plate on there and get that all bolted on today. Then I'm just going to cover it with like a towel, an old towel, and some sheets, because I really don't want that condensation getting back in there and rusting things up again. What are you gonna do? Okay, I'll make another video when I've got more to update. Alright, it's the 10th of January 2022. I'm gonna make this real quick because I've been out feeding round bales. It's cold, actually one of the coldest days, expecting one of the coldest nights that we're gonna have so far this year. So if you can see behind me, the Ford 5600 is together. I mean, it's not completely together, but all the main bolts, the two halves of the tractor are together. Not all the main bolts, but anyway, she's together and appears to be working. I've still got to do a lot of work. I've got the throttle linkage together, but I mean, I've got to put the wiring harness together, the battery cables, starter, fuel line, the power steering lines, and whatever the others are. I'm not even sure what they all do. Got a lot of little tinker work to do. Got to get the fuel tank hooked up, filled with fuel, and try to start this thing. So it went together surprisingly well. It's only the second one I've ever done. Got it together within an inch of actually pulling together, and it stopped. I believe that was just because of the gear that meshes in. Well, it could have been one of two things. Doesn't matter. Could be going into the pilot bearing, or it could be where it goes onto the disc plate. But anyway, all I did is one of the mechanics told me to leave one of these bolts, like right here, put one of these bolts in, and then take a pry bar like this, very, gently, and rotate the flywheel. Well, of course there's a gap here. I was afraid of going, on one tooth that I was going to break something. He assured me that they are much stronger than that, and I probably wouldn't be able to break a tooth on that flywheel very easily. All right, so got that together. What else can I tell you? The fingers, I did adjust them, the clutch fingers. The only thing is, the book said to have it at about 1 5/8 inches distance from the end of the fingers to the flywheel. I am at 1 3/4 inches. I hope that doesn't bite me. I don't know it well enough. But otherwise, I didn't feel I was getting enough travel and stuff out of the clutch pedal. Because, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to show you. Even with a brand new clutch and bearings and everything else, this clevis is 3/4 of the way screwed in already, and that just gives me about 1.5 inches of play here before that. Throwout bearing makes contact with the fingers, and that's what they recommended, 1.25 to 2 inches of travel before it touches. So the only way I could see to shorten that gap, otherwise this clevis with a brand new clutch, this is supposed to be your adjustment over the life of some of that clutch pad. That would have been almost up to this arm. I'm within 3/8 of an inch of that rod touching right now. So the only thing I could see anyway, the only way to take care of that was to adjust the fingers. So hopefully that doesn't make the clutch too loose if I go to use it and it starts slipping. Well, that sucks. Let's hope not. Anyway, it's damn cold. My fingers are getting cold. Just wanted to show you that it's together. Just a little bit of wiggling and moving that flywheel, and she pulled right together. All right, take care.